So I asked, what's my message? And it went to this one. Stay with me. Do not be afraid. Whoever seeks your life must seek my life also. You are under my protection. And it's basically saying, like, I've had enough of you madmen. They're being sent by officers. They have made a pact with officers to ambush me. Yep, that's what it's saying, but it's not even my battle. So it says, Beathra escaped. One son of Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, named Beathia, escaped and fled to David. When Abiathar told David that Saul had slain the priest of the Almighty God, David said to him, I knew that day when Doeg the Edomite was there that he would certainly tell Saul, I am responsible for the slaughter of all your family. 23. Stay with me. Do not be afraid. Whoever seeks your life must seek my life also. You are under my protection. And that's 1 Samuel 23. And then like 1 Samuel 22 or something like that. Of David, a fugitive. They could be saying she's a fugitive or a terrorist or whatever they say. I don't know. I don't know none of these people. Whatever slander they're saying, the officers could be saying allegedly. They're being sent by officers. Said, men's, they conspired against me. Why no one told me that my son had made a pact with the son of Jesse? None of you has shown compassion for me by revealing to me that my son has incited my servant to ambush me, as is the case today. Then Doeg the Edomite, who was standing with Saul's officers, spoke up. I saw the son of Jesse come to Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, in Nob. He consulted the Almighty God for him, furnished him with provisions, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. So they made some type of pact or a vow or something with corrupt officials, allegedly. They're bitter. They always got something negative to say. Embittered. Hebrew, ma nefhish, bitter of spirit. So they'll always be saying something negative about 12 or something. They're supposed to be some heroes or something. I don't know you. So that's your reality. That's not my reality. Whatever you guys are saying about me, or whatever you think, or whatever you're trying to do, that's your problem, not my problem. Yep, it says, Abrithia, the sole survivor of Eli household, David now has in his service the only priest of the Almighty God left in the land and exclusive access to the Ephod for consulting the Almighty God. 23, 9, 13. David later appoints Abiathar co-high priest with Zadok in Jerusalem. 2 Samuel 20, 25. But Solomon exiles Abiathar to Anathoth with the priest when the priest does not support his bid for the throne. 1 Kings 2:26-27, 2:2, 22, 23. You are under my protection. Once again, a sharp contrast is drawn between Saul, who kills the Almighty God's priest, and David, who protects the lone survivor. Yeah, because I don't bother these people. I just be reading my Bible. Yep. And I'm going to continue to read the Bible and mind my business. Not worried about what people saying about me who I don't even know, who don't know me. So, yes, I'm standing on Amendment 1. I'm standing on business with Amendment 1, and I'm not backing down from nobody because I'm not even bothering them. I don't know them. And I'm staying in my own lane, and I'm going to keep reading my Bible, and I'm going to keep praying. And they can keep on doing whatever it is they're doing or saying whatever they're saying. I don't care. I don't know them, and I don't care what they say. I don't even know these people. Who gives a crap what they say? Not even thinking about them. My mind's on way more important things. So I'll read the whole thing. 1 Samuel 21. Then David departed on his way while Jonathan went back into the city. The holy bread. David went to Ahimelech, the priest of Nob, who came trembling to meet him. He asked, "Why are you alone? Is there no one with you?" And David answered the priest, "The king gave me a commission and told me, 'Do not let anyone know anything about the business on which I have sent you or the commission I have given you. For that reason, I have arranged a particular meeting place with my men. Now, what do you have on hand? Give me 5 loaves, or whatever you can find." But the priest replied to David, "I have no ordinary bread on hand, only holy bread. If the men have abstained from women, you may eat some of that." And David answered the priest, "We have indeed stayed away from women in the past whenever I went out on a campaign. All the young men were consecrated, even for an ordinary campaign. All the more so are they consecrated with their weapons today." So the priest gave him holy bread, for no other bread was on hand except the showbread, which had been removed from before the Almighty God and replaced by fresh bread when it was taken away. One of Saul's servants was there that day, detained before the Almighty God. His name was Doeg the Edomite, the chief of Saul's shepherds. The sword of Goliath. David then asked Ahimelech, "Do you have a spear or a sword on hand?" And I brought along neither my sword nor my weapons, because the king's business was urgent. And the priest replied, "The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, is here wrapped in a garment behind an ephod. If you wish to take it, do so. There is no sword here except that one." "There is none like it," David cried. "Give it to me." David a fugitive. That same day, David fled from Saul, going to Achish, king of Gath. But the servants of Achish said to him, "Is this not David, the king of the land? Is it not for him that during their dances they sing out, 'Saul has slain his thousands, David his tens of thousands'?" David took note of these remarks, and they became very much afraid of Achish, king of Gath. So he feigned insanity in front of them and acted like a madman in their custody, drumming on the doors of the gate and drooling on his beard. Finally, Achish said to his servants, "You see this man is mad. Why did you bring him to me? Do I not have enough madmen that you bring this one to rant in my presence? Should this fellow come into my house?" Oh God. 1 Samuel 22. Chapter 22. David left Gath and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brothers and the rest of his family heard about it, they came down to him there, and he was joined by all those in difficulties or in debt or embittered, and became their leader. About 400 men were with him. From there David went to Mizpah of Moab and said to the king of Moab, "Let my father and mother stay with you until I learn what God would do for me." He left them with the king of Moab. They stayed with him as long as David remained in the stronghold. But Gad the prophet said to David, "Do not remain in the stronghold. Leave, go to the land of Judah." And so David left and went to the forest of Hirath. Doeg betrays Ahimelech. Now Saul heard that David and his men had been located, and at the time he was sitting in Gibeah under a Thamada's tree and on a high place, holding his spear, while his servants stood by him. So he said to them, "Listen, men of Benjamin, will the son of Jesse give all of you fields and vineyards? Will he appoint any of you an officer over 1,000 or 100 men? Is that why you have all conspired against me? Why no one told me that my son had made a pact with the son of Jesse? None of you has shown compassion for me by revealing to me that my son has incited my servant to ambush me, as is the case today." Then Doeg the Edomite, who was standing with Saul's officers, spoke up. "I saw the son of Jesse come to Ahimelech, son of Ahitub and Nob. He consulted the Almighty God for him, furnished him with provisions, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine." Slaughter of the priest. So the king summoned Ahimelech the priest, son of Ahitub, and all his family, and the priest and Nob, and they all came to the king. "Listen, son of Ahitub," Saul declared. "Yes, my LRD." He replied, "Yes, Holy One." Saul questioned him, why have you conspired against me with the son of Jesse by giving him food and a sword and by consulting God for him that he might rise up against me in ambush, as is the case today? Ahimelech answered the king, who among all your servants so is as loyal as David, and the king's son-in-law, captain of your bodyguard and honored in your own house? Is this the first time I have consulted God for him? No, indeed. Let not the king accuse his servant or anyone in my family of such a thing. Your servant knows nothing at all, great or small, about the whole matter. But the king said, you shall certainly die, Ahimelech, with all your family. The king then commanded his guard standing by him, turn and kill the priests of the LRD, for they gave David a hand. They knew he was a fugitive and yet failed to inform me. But the king's servant refused to raise a hand to strike the priests of the Almighty God. And the king therefore commanded Doeg, you turn and kill the priests. So Doeg the Edomite himself turned and killed the priests that day. 85 who wore the linen ephod. Saul also put the priestly city of Nob to the sword, including men and women, children and infants, and oxen, donkey, and sheep. Abrithiah escaped. One son of Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, named Abrithiah, escaped and fled to David. When Abrithiah told David that Saul had slain the priest of the Almighty God, David said to him, I knew that day when Doeg the Edomite was there that he would certainly tell Saul, I am responsible for the slaughter of all your family. 1 Samuel 23, stay with me. Do not be afraid. Whoever seeks your life must seek my life also. You are under my protection. Chapter 23. Keilah, liberated. David was informed that the Philistines were attacking Keilah and plundering the threshing floor. So he consulted the Almighty God, asking, shall I go and attack these Philistines? And the Almighty God answered, go and attack them and free Keilah. Keilah. But David's men said to him, even in Judah we have reason to fear. How much more so if we go to Keilah against the forces of the Philistines? Again, David consulted the Almighty God, who answered, go down to Keilah, for I will deliver the Philistines into your power. So David went with his men to Keilah and fought against the Philistines. He drove off their cattle and inflicted a severe defeat on them and freed the inhabitants of Keilah. Abrithiah, son of Ahimelech, who fled to David, went down with David to Keilah, taking the ephod with him. Flight from Keilah. And when Saul was told that David had entered Keilah, he thought, God has put him in my hand, for he has boxed himself in by entering a city with gates and bars. Saul then called all the army to war in order to go down to Keilah and besiege David and his men. And when David found out that Saul was planning to harm him, he said to the priest, Abithiah, bring the ephod here. The Almighty God of Israel, David prayed, your servant has heard that Saul plans to come to Keilah to destroy the city on my account. Will they hand me over? Will Saul come down as your servant has heard? The Almighty God of Israel, tell your servant. The Almighty God answered, he will come down. And David then asked, will the citizens of Keilah deliver me and my men into the hand of Saul? And the Almighty God answered, they will deliver you. So David and his men, about 600 in number, left Keilah and wandered from place to place. And when Saul was informed that David had fled from Keilah, he did not go forth. David and Jonathan in Hodesh. David now lived in the strongholds and the wilderness, or in the barren hill country near Ziph, though Saul sought him continually. The Almighty God did not deliver David into his hand. While David was in the wilderness of Ziph at Hodesh, he was afraid that Saul had come out to seek his life. Then Saul's son Jonathan came down to David at Hodesh and encouraged him in the Almighty God. And he said to him, have no fear. My father Saul shall not lay a hand to you. You shall be king of Israel, and I shall be a second to you. Even my father Saul knows this. The two of them made a covenant before the Almighty God in Hodesh, where David remained while Jonathan returned to his home. Treachery of the Ziphites. Some of the Ziphites went up to Saul in Gibeah and said, David is hiding among us in the strongholds at Hodesh on the hill of Hachilah, south of Jeshimon. Therefore, whenever the king wishes to come down, let him do so. It would be our task to deliver him into the king's hand. Saul replied, the Almighty God bless you for your compassion towards me. Go now and make sure once more. Take note of the place where he sets foot, for I am told that he is very cunning. 23. Look around and learn in which of all the various hiding places he is holding out. Then come back to me with reliable information, and I will go with you. If he is in the region, I will track him down out of all the families of Judah. So they went off to Ziph ahead of Saul. At this time, David and his men were in the wilderness below Maon and the Arabah, south of the wasteland, escaped from Saul. And when Saul and his men came looking for him, David got word of it and went down to the gorge in the wilderness below Maon. Saul heard of this and pursued David into the wilderness below Maon. As Saul moved along one side of the gorge, David and his men took to the other. David was anxious to escape Saul, while Saul and his men were trying to outflank David and his men in order to capture them. Then the messenger came to Saul, saying, come quickly, because the Philistines have invaded the land. Saul interrupted his pursuit of David and went to meet the Philistine, and this is how that place came to be called the Rock of Divisions. This is saying something, a dead dog, a single flea. So basically this is saying that anytime it goes to this one, that somebody, whoever this alcoholic is, a scoundrel, no one can talk to him. This is somebody who drinks a lot of alcohol. And God say, whenever he come to try to do something strange to me, God gonna make him have a heart attack. God is gonna do something to his heart. This alcoholic madman, 38, 88, 38. Know what it said? You could have a wife or a girlfriend or whoever, baby mama, master. He is a scoundrel. No one can talk to him. So whoever he is that's trying to come for me, I don't even know him. We're gonna make him, he is a Nabal, he act a fool or something. He act foolish. 187, he trying to do some type of murder or homicide. Maybe they trying to do a murder for hire. 37, 38. Nabal, death. Go to your home in peace. See, I have listened to your appeal and have granted your request. So yeah, it's a man. He has repaid good with evil. May God do thus to David and more, if by morning I leave a single male alive among all those who belong to him. As soon as Abigail saw David, she dismounted quickly from the donkey and falling down below, bowed low to the ground before David in homage. And she fell at his feet, and she said, my God, Lord, let the blame be mine. Please let your maidservant speak to you. Listen to the words of your maidservant, my Lord. Do not pay any attention to that scoundrel Nabal, for he is just like his name. His name means fool, and he acts the fool. I, your maidservant, did not see the young man whom my God sent. Now therefore, my God, as the Holy One lives as you live, the Holy One has kept you from shedding blood and from avenging yourself by your own hand. May your enemies and those who seek to harm my Lord become as Nabal. Accept this gift then which your maidservant has brought from my Lord, my God, and let it be given to the young men who follow my God, sovereign creator. Please forgive the offense of your maidservant, for the Almighty God shall certainly establish a lasting house for my Almighty God, because my God fights the battles of the Holy One. Let no evil be found in you your whole life long. If any adversary pursues you to seek your life, may the life of the Holy One be bound in the bundle of the living, and in the care of the Holy One your God. And may God hurl out the lives of your enemies as from the hollow of a sling. And when the Holy One fulfills for my God the promises of success he has made concerning you, and appoints you as ruler over Israel, you shall not have any regrets or burdens on your conscience, my God, for having shedded innocent blood, or for having rescued yourself. And when the Holy One bestows good on my Lord, the Holy One, remember your maidservant. David said to Abigail, blessed is the Holy One, the God of Israel, who sent you to meet me today. 33, blessed is your good judgment, and blessed are you yourself. Today you have prevented me from shedding blood and rescuing myself with my own hand. Otherwise, as the Almighty God, the God of Israel lives, who has kept me from harming you, if you had not come so promptly to meet me by dawn, Nabal would have had so much as one male left alive. 21 to 12, they sending men and stuff, people to come for me. 38, looking for bloodthirsty scoundrels. They could be alcoholics. They always drinking alcohol. Let's see. That's what it said. Anytime I get this, that's what it is. Because I don't know. It says, the God of Israel lives, who has kept me from harming you. So David then took from her what she had brought him, and said to her, go to your home in peace. See, I have listened to your appeal and have granted your request. Nabal's death. And when Abigail came to Nabal, he was hosting a banquet in his house like that of a king, and Nabal was in a festive mood and very drunk. So these some drunk kings. So she said not a word to him until daybreak the next morning. But then when Nabal was sober, his wife told him what had happened, and at this his heart died. So something's gonna happen to these drunk kings' heart for repaying good with evil and shedding innocent blood. It's right here. He has repaid good with evil. So God is gonna make this drunk, very drunk scoundrel, that's what they calling him, his heart is gonna die. 38. Within him, and he became like a stone. About 10 days later, the Almighty God struck Nabal, and he died. Hearing that Nabal was dead, David said, blessed be the Almighty God, who hath defended my cause against the insult from Nabal, who restrained his servant from doing evil, but has repaid Nabal for his evil deeds. And he took his wife and married her. Yep. So I don't know why anyone's coming for me, because I'm not bothering nobody. I don't even know them. So it's treachery, a dead dog, a single flea. I have no idea who these people are. They scoundrels, what it's saying. They repay good with evil, because I'm not bothering nobody. They shed innocent blood, and God's gonna make them have a heart attack. Their heart gonna die. And I didn't even know it was gonna go to this. 38, 88. They could be trying to do a sacrifice or something. They're trying to sacrifice me. They made some type of pact with officers. Allegedly, that's what it's saying. Treachery. You mad men. I've had enough of you mad men who made a pact with officers to ambush me. some masters and a sword, but it's not even my battle. So it's just saying, don't worry, it's not my battle. I can read this Bible, I can speak my truth. And they be insulting, saying insulting words, and trying to be very cunning towards me. Like, that could be like some tricks or something. They're trying to like win, like outsmart me or something. Like sending men to act like they a lover or something. It's something weird they doing. I don't know these people. And then one of them got a wife. One of them can have a wife or a baby mama or a girlfriend or something. They weird as hell. They supposed to be some soldiers. I would have said soldiers. I'm getting a lot of messages. They soldiers, but they enemies. So they already have somebody. They have a wife or something. Yep, that's what it's saying. So God's gonna give his wife to somebody else. Because David married Abigail, which is his wife. His girlfriend, baby mama, wife, whoever, God gonna give her another man. Somebody gonna take your wife. Take your baby mama, your girlfriend, whoever she is. I don't even know. I don't know these people. That's what it said. David married Abigail, and Ahinoam. David then sent a proposal of marriage to Abigail. When David's servants came to Abigail in Carmel, they said to her, David has sent us to make his proposal of marriage to you. Rising and bowing to the ground, she answered, let your maidservant be the slave who washes the feet of my Lord's servant. So she got up and immediately mounted a donkey and followed David's messengers. And with her 5 maids attended her, she became his wife. David also married Ahinoam of Jezreel. Thus both of them were his wives. But Saul gave David's wife Michal, Saul's own daughter, to Palti, son of Laish, who is from Galiam. So it's like same thing that happened back in the days. It's the same. It's like deja vu. The same thing happening. So they could be trying to come with some revenge or vengeance, or trying to call me some type of pest or pest control or something. That's what it's showing. I don't even know these people. It's weird as heck. These some strangers. It's stranger danger. Yeah, so it's like, it's the same thing that happened in the Bible. It's like, it's already happening. There are some kings. They call themselves kings or something. So it's like sleeping with the enemy. And they supposed to be some soldiers or something. Having a war with me with the Bible. Look, that's all I got. So it's demonic, 28. I can't deal with this. This is crazy. So I'm going to continue reading this Bible, praying and minding my business. I don't know these people. I don't bother nobody or nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it went back to like, they supposed to be outside. It said outside. Outside. Can't deal with this. What the heck's going on? Outside kings. They're trying to get some type of bribe. Military or something. It said military. God will not forsake my people Israel. Yeah, all this message is coming from the Bible. Gold. They're probably trying to get some gold, 28 with gold, or a house or something. So just flowers. So whoever the one with the flowers or whatever. Yeah, it's something going on. I don't know these people. So number 8, the sacrifice. I'm only here for the blood sacrifice. And look what it said. Boaz. So they could be at the beach as well. They be lurking around at the beach as well. So Joshin Boaz, the molten sea. This was a large circular tank containing about 12,000 gallons of water bath. So yeah. They could have shovels and stuff, like trying to dig a grave or digging a grave for 12 with shovels and stuff. I'm getting a lot of messages. Let's see what else. Something about braces, so they could be threatening their legs or something, like making them not have legs or something. Foreigners, they could be threatening to deport people. Foreigners. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So yeah, sacrifice. The W or something. W, sacrifice to an idol or something. They could have called themselves brothers or something. Big brother or something. 913 brother. So yeah, brother or big brother or something. Let's see. A term for a treaty partner. 33, 20, 32, 33. Kabal, the meaning is a certain perhaps of no value. The talent was a measure of weight that varied in the course of ancient Israel history from 45 to 130 pounds. This would mean that at the least Hiram sent 5,000 pounds of gold to Solomon, and the figure may be as much as 3 times that amount. Milio probably means ground field. It may refer to an artificial earthwork or a platform of stamped ground south of the temple area. It was begun by David. 2 Deuces, Samuel 5:9, 1 Kings 9:24. Deuces or something. So brothers and deuces, they be giving them warnings and stuff, and they supposed to be devoted to this. A promise and warning to Solomon. So let me see something. And urging the people to be wholly devoted. Shalom. Shalom. Solomon plays on his own name, Shlomo, as if it to imply that he himself exemplifies perfect fidelity to God. Communion offerings. Shilaminim is another word to play on the name of Solomon. So I guess they locked into this or something because they devoted. They locked into this, to doing a sacrifice to an idol or something. And they be giving them warnings and stuff. And fail. Heaps of ruin. So it says here. And they said, why has the Almighty God done such things to this land and to this house? And the answer would come, because they abandoned the Almighty their God, who brought their ancestors out of the land of Egypt, and they embraced other gods, bowing down to them and serving them. That is why the Almighty God has brought upon them all this evil.